Hi, I'm Trisha Alker, and welcome to Gravity Picks. This is truly my Gravity Pick. This is my postnatal workout that I'm going to share with you. Now, one thing to think about with a postnatal workout is you do have new postnatal clients and I don't want to say old postnatal clients, but maybe 8, 9, 10, 16 months down the road like I am, their needs are going to change. But what I want to show you today is a workout that I've been doing myself, not just to get back in shape to my pre-baby shape, but mostly to accommodate for the changes you go through once you have a child and you're dealing with carrying that child, the increased load, that kind of thing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you some of the targeted areas that you're going to want to concentrate on with your postnatal clients. Okay, we're going to show you a few different variations because, like I said, there's varying degrees. Someone who's just back to working out and someone who is, 9, 10, maybe a year into it. So let's go ahead and get started. This is Nicole. She's going to be helping me demonstrate. Now, to start, we're going to be in a low kneeling position, okay, and we're going to start with a basic row. Now, the workout today, we're predominantly going to be focusing on the back and all the muscles on the back side of the upper torso. With carrying a baby and having a baby in your daily activities, you spend a lot of time what I call front loaded. You're rounded, your biceps are loaded, your chest, everything is just kind of forward. So we're focusing on working towards the back. So a few bilateral rows start us off. Then we can go for a high elbow row. And again, what I'm going to tell Nicole to do is her focus is just to really think about the squeezing of the shoulder blades coming together. Her focus is really pulling into the back. Again, we need to strengthen these postural muscles that are going to help her get back upright again when she's most likely getting rounded more and more each day just from the weight of that baby. Okay, we can go unilateral with this. Also, another very important point about postnatal workouts, think about using unilateral exercises because you have a tendency as a mom to carry a baby on one side. Typically, it's your dominant side is free to do things one-handed. For example, with my son, I hold him in my left arm and I'm using my right arm to do everything. So I need to make sure that I can do some unilateral work. Also, coming up into a high kneeling position, if you have that client who's ready for that, then they can add in the core challenge that this builds in. So when you go up into the kneeling, we know the new demands that are placed on the core. How about though going one arm at a time with some rotation? So now we can add in some of that movement with the rotation. One other way that I like to make this even a little bit more advanced is to go down low, and then as you come up, you can rotate and look with that rotation. Good. Now what you're going to see is in this workout today, I don't do specifically legs exercises, but we're going to get a lot of quad exercises just in the positions that we use. Okay, so again, pay attention to your client. If they were not a big exerciser before they had the baby, you're going to be staying with the more basic levels. But if you had someone who worked out right up until the baby was born, then you're going to be able to do some more advanced things. Okay, great. Let's come on and stay just in a seat or a low kneeling position. You're going to do shoulder extension. So again, our focus is on the muscles of the back, the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, and the triceps here. Your biceps are going to get a natural workout pretty much every day, all day. So we want to make sure we're complementing our work for our triceps into our workouts. Okay, good. We can do this unilateral as well. So what Nicole's feeling right now, I can tell you because I do this, I feel it, is that when you push with one arm, your stabilization goals totally change. So she has to really engage her deeper abdominal muscles to stabilize while she pushes only one arm at a time. Okay, great. Let's go into now some back extension. Again, think about the posture. So you're going to bring that into your chest, and all we're going to do is stay low and then lift up and back down. Now, if you're not familiar with this exercise, the glide board's not going to move a lot, okay? So you really just focus on starting to warm up the erector spinae muscles, all the muscles that are helping you try to stay upright as you carry a heavier and heavier load in front of you as your baby grows. Good. So from here, we're going to go ahead and stay down. So go ahead and down and extend your arms towards the tower. Okay, you can come up just a little bit right here. Now this is an exercise I call the lat press back. So from here, you're just gonna swing out to the side in an arc and press back, good. Now notice the stabilization again that's needed. So we warmed up the spine a little bit for Nicole. Now she's really stabilizing there. Now even in this position, you need to think about engaging the abdominals from the inside out. So my quick tip, if you can't figure out how to tighten that down, cough. If you do a little cough, you'll feel your abs. Did you feel that? You feel your abs tighten down, then you just kind of hold that and learn to breathe with that. So this is really going to be targeting those lower lat fibers. So you're going to feel it there. Nice. Okay, good. So go ahead and come back up. Now we've done the different components. Let's put this together in a more compound feel. That surfer lat pull is excellent for this. Okay, so we're going to come down low. And as we press back, we're going to come up into some extension. So you get that lumbar flexion and extension. That's very, very important, but especially the extension with the press back, very nice and tall. Something that's going to be hard for your postnatal clients is to get out of this position and to get truly into this position. Okay, even myself, I'm 16 months into being a new mom, and I still find myself so rounded and so forward. Good. So you could do this unilateral if you wanted to, bilateral. There's just play with your variations. Okay, let's go into tricep kickback. So we're going to stay down there. Good, nice and long, and then press back, kickback style, nice. So we're maximizing, again, body position, which we love about the gravity, absolutely love it. So we've done how many exercises, and she hasn't changed anything on the GTS, but just what she's doing with the GTS, okay? Great, unilateral. Again, we need to remember unilateral because you get so one-sided when you're carrying a child and working with a baby. Okay? In fact, think about the activities you do, changing a diaper, things like that. Change them around, move them around. That'll help you as well. Okay, great. So come on up. You're going to anchor down, and I'm going to have you turn away from me and sit down. Now we're going to move into a torso rotation exercise. Just your basic seated torso rotation to start. You can imagine why this is important. Good. So you're going to be up tall and rotate. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to train those abdominals again to engage while we're doing a variety of activities, okay? You want to steer away from just doing crunches with your postnatal client. In some respects, that could actually increase how much the rectus abdominis are pulling apart because they're already stretched, so they could stretch even more. On the GTS, we have these incredible core workouts that really are getting the transverse abdominis way down deep, getting the obliques in such a way that keeps us from regressing, but rather progress back to that abdominal strength we need. So that's just, you want to do your basic torso rotation. If they're new to exercising, again, keep it low. I'm going to have you go ahead and stand up. Take the handle. Now, we've got Nicole, who, let's say she worked out right up to the pregnancy. She's ready to be a little bit more advanced, okay? So first I'm going to have a nice wide stance on the knees. We all know wider base of support. You still want to be smart in your training. So same thing here. We're going to do our torso rotation, kneeling, okay? You'd always start seated before you progress up. So we could be kneeling low. Why don't you try kneeling high if you feel comfortable with that? Always anchoring down, okay? Good. And then we're going to do our basic kneeling rotation. So just think again about the core stabilization that's needed to do this exercise. And that's what we need to train our postnatal clients with. They need that in their everyday activities. Now, if you really want to take it up a notch, we're going to go down low, and then we're going to come up, adding more of an incline. Remember what I said, we do not necessarily need to target the legs specifically. We're going to build it in with some of these compound movements. Good, so you feel a little quad burn with that, I'm sure. Good. Also, again, it's just an increased core challenge. Great, one more, perfect. So go ahead and anchor down, and we're going to step off. Okay, good. So we've been focusing on the back of the torso, right, the back of the arms. We focused on the mid-torso, doing some of that rotation. Now we're going to focus on what I call the plank series, that if you're not familiar with these, they're extremely, extremely important for your postnatal client. Okay? Even if they have to do these at home on their own without a GTS, this is something you need to get in their program. So I'm going to have Nicole start putting her knees down. So you're going to come out and put your elbows underneath your shoulders. Good. Now this is going to be level 1, okay? So level 1 here, now no matter what level you're at, the things we're going to look for is the shoulder blades are pulled back slightly, okay? And that she's pretty long. Can you do something for me and just shift your hips back? Now if they're doing this, or if you're doing this, then you need to make sure you're shifting forward and get those elbows right underneath the shoulder, and it should be, pull your shoulder blades back just a little, good, a nice straight line down. Now I have the knees again down. If you wanted to advance this, the first thing you do is lift the knees off the glide board and you could be there, okay? But even just the knees down, if you have a new postnatal client, meaning they just are getting back to working out, you're gonna wanna put the knees down. Okay, from in here, there's even some little variations. You could lift one knee off the board at the time, just slightly, slightly. Now this is if you wanna progress them to help and then take it down and switch. Help them with their body awareness, how to stabilize from the inside out while they start introducing movement. Because remember, you're moving all day long with that baby, and the whole idea is, can you have that core stabilization and support with your movement while you're doing your movements, not just when you decide I'm going to do an exercise now. That's the trick. Okay, great. Let's show a side plank now. Okay, again, we're showing you the first version, which is going to have knees down. And if you like, if it's more comfortable, just straighten that leg out and let the foot rest on the floor, but keep this knee on the glide board. Okay, and all we're doing is going up into a side plank and back down. Good, very simple. Again, what you want to watch is that that elbow is right under the shoulder. If your client complains that the shoulder feels it more, then what you're going to want to do is have them perhaps move their elbow underneath the shoulder. Good. Now hold one up for me. Now from here, just reach the arm right to the ceiling. You could tuck that arm through, so reach under and look and come back. Still, her knee is down because we're staying at that more entry-level position with the knee. Okay, great, and drop it down. Now, do you want to show them with your legs extended? Good. Good, and you're up and then down. So just very basic, but there's ways to progress it through. Okay, good. One last thing with the plank, how you could combine those two is what I call a traveling plank. You're gonna put your arms together like this, okay? She's gonna do this on her knees for me, but you could also do it on your toes. So, shoulder blades back, good strong plank. Now open to one side. You're just gonna open all the way to one side. You let your knees, everything kind of comes open to the side. The hip stays up, and then you come back to center, and then you're gonna rotate to the other side. You might shift around a little bit to stay on top of the glide board. Make sure the hip doesn't drop. So what do we talk about? Stability with mobility on this, right? And on the GTS, we're doing it with a closed glide board, but you know what you could do, don't you? You could always progress that person to opening up the glide board and making it even more challenging, even on the legs as well. Good, perfect. Okay, so go ahead and lie down onto your stomach. Nicole did such a great job. What did I talk about in the beginning of this workout? Hunching forward. So just to finish things out here, I'm gonna get Nicole a little, or give her a little treat here, and it's just extension, okay? And it's just extending, lengthening, and then releasing. Good. So think about this. We haven't done any machine changes to the GTS, just taking off the pulleys. We haven't had to change the incline, anything. So all those great principles of versatility with one piece of equipment, now you have a target market, that postnatal client that you can work with. And I can tell you from my own experience, like I said, my son is 16 months old now, but I started doing this when I got back to exercise, and it's helped me progress as he grows and as my demands change daily for my physical needs. So if it's working for me, I'm very confident it's gonna work for you or your client, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks.